It's the final week of the regular season and the fall air tastes of playoffs. Lucas is in and trying to grab home field advantage, while Arlington looks to grab a marquee win to boost their playoff hopes. We got a good one coming up live and free on the OH Report right now.
21-19. The Red Devils are currently 6-3 and knocked off Van Buren.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Welcome into our TMS Plus Digital Marketing pregame show. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks. And Josh, when I left today, there was a 0% chance of rain starting after 6 p.m. The floodgates have opened here at Lucas. Thankfully, we are covered. It should be a rainy night. We'll see how that impacts both these teams tonight in what is a crucial game for these two schools looking into the playoff.
Yeah, Lucas looking to potentially, if they can pull off a win here and maybe win it handily, have a chance at 2 home games if a couple things fall their way. Arlington needing a win here tonight just to maybe have an opportunity to get into the postseason next week. Really important game for both teams on a rainy night here in Cup Country.
Rainy night indeed. These two schools, though, they don't throw the ball a lot, so it kind of plays into both of their strengths tonight. They're going to keep it on the ground. And we'll see who ends up being able to hold on to the ball better as we pause here for a moment for the national anthem. All set to go here, about 3 minutes to go until kickoff between Arlington and Lucas in a very interesting game tonight. A lot at stake when you're talking the playoff picture. Lucas has already clinched, but could potentially host 2 games if they get a win and a little bit of help with teams above them losing. But Arlington is kind of right there on the bubble. Season ended today, they're in, and if they win, Joe Idle's got them projected between a 7 and a 14 seed, but a loss drops them to 10 and potentially out. So there is a lot at stake here for Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington coming into a very critical game. Took care of business last week against Van Buren, only gave up 6 points. The one thing that I noticed looking at stats, Arlington's best part of their defense is their secondary. The only bad part about that is the Lucas Cubs are not going to give you a chance to utilize that secondary because they don't want to throw the football. As we'll take a look here at some numbers for Arlington, our team preview. 6-3 on the year.
Yeah, they've had a good year. Tough start to the season, going 1-2, but 5-1 since then. They average just over 25 points a game. They don't give up a lot, and this is a defense that loves to create chaos. 15 interceptions on the season, but as you mentioned, how much is that going to come into play tonight?
A rainy ball game. I don't expect Coach Spittler, after achieving number 100 as a Lucas Cub coach last week, to lose tonight and not get number 101.
Now, one guy that the Red Devils will lean on, running back Caden Russell, the senior ball carrier. He's picked up after an injury in the backfield, and he's really kind of taken over that role and helped this Arlington team stay afloat.
Yeah, he's the workhorse in the backfield. Their quarterback's going to get some carries as well. The quarterback's favorite target is the tight end. But Caden Russell's going to be a young man that we're going to see from start to finish, and he's going to have a big night if the Red Devils are going to upset the Cubs here at home.
Well, one way that they can do that, I think they got to force some turnovers, and these conditions are perfect to do that. We talked about how much they love to force teams into turnovers. We'll see if they're able to strip a couple from Logan Tom, Zach Deal in the backfield tonight.
Yeah, and if you want to beat these Lucas Cubs, you got to contain those 2 names you just mentioned. Contain the edge. Don't let Logan Toms and Zach Deal get around the corner, because if one of those 2 kids gets around the corner, you're not going to catch them downfield. They're going to have 30 or 40 yards before you get a body to them. Contain the edge, make them beat you another way as we look at the Lucas Cubs here. Yeah. 6-3 as well. 6-3,
some good wins over Smithville, Monroeville, Fort Loramie last week. And they've clinched a 10th straight playoff appearance, and last week, win number 100 for Coach Scott Spittler here at Lucas, and Logan Tom's a big part of that offense for the Cubs.
Logan Tom's one of the best running backs in all of this division and all of this region. He does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. And we'll take a look at our keys to victory.
Quick start. They got to get a quick start, the Cubs do. And for you, it was mistake-free.
Yeah, play mistake. It's a rainy night. You want to run the football. You want to win with your running game. You got to play mistake-free. Don't allow Arlington to get any big plays. And like they say here in Lucas, keep calm, run power. It's what they've said since Coach Spittler came over here, and they're going to continue to say it.
Elected to defer to the second half. Set to kick off for Arlington, number 73, Wesley Hartman. Deep for your Cubs, Zach Deal and Logan Toms.
So the Cubs will receive, and it's a squib kick, and they'll fall on it right at about the 32-yard line is where the Cubs will start on offense.
Covered by Lucas and Zach Winters. Down in the 32-yard line where the Cubs will start 1st and 10.
And we're going to see senior quarterback Grayson Jackson come out, get under center, and they're going to run this wing tee. And they run it almost to perfection when they run it.
Steady rain falling here in Lucas. When I got here to set up everything, it was nice and dry, and it was like, this might actually be a pretty nice night. As this carry, good gain on first down for Dan Hawkinsmith. Gets close to a Lucas first down, but he's out across the 40, close to the 45.
Not something you typically see out of Lucas. First play, they give it to Hawkinsmith up the middle, see what he can kind of get offensively, and now they're going to go to their bread and butter, which is Deal and Toms are on the edge.
Second down, and let's call it 2, maybe 3. There's Toms, gets it in the backfield, and doesn't really get past the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Arlington defense there, forcing a 3rd down.
Looks like they're going to give him about a gain of 1 there. A great job by the Arlington defense, but you're going to see all night long these Arlington Red Devils, they're going to load the box. They've got 2 high safeties playing over the top. There's nobody playing wide. Everybody's in the box. The corners are basically playing like outside linebackers. They're not going to let them beat them with the run game. This is going to be really interesting to see how these Cubs counter this defense by Arlington.
And this is an Arlington team familiar with Lucas. They played last year. Red Devils got the win 29-21 over in Arlington. Ball is out, and the Cubs are able to maintain possession, but they will have to potentially punt this one away as it's going to be 4th down.
And that's a great job by number 10, Luke Metzger, the tight end linebacker for these Red Devils. He met Zach Deal in that hole. He lit him up, and he made that ball pop free. Luckily enough, it bounced right back up into the lap of Deal. It doesn't really hurt. We'll see what the Cubbies do here. Coach Spittler going to risk it here. First drive, 4th and 1. Are you going to go to Hawkinsmith up the middle, go to the big guy, let him get a yard for you? He got 6 on the first play.
Yeah, we'll see what they've got in store here. And it's a toss in the backfield. Toms has trouble with it. He's able to score through some defenders, and he is close.
He's going to have the first down.
He might have enough for the first down. So that play was dead in the water. And sometimes it's a broken play that just kind of offsets everything else. You see it a lot on kickoff returns when there's like a drop. Someone's able to just suddenly break through and get it, and he got enough for a first down.
Yeah, and that's just Logan Tom's effort right there. A missed toss in the backfield, hustles. Not only does he recover it, but he recovers it on his feet, so he's able to get the yards needed for a first down. They needed 1. He had to run about 6 to get it from where he lost the pitch at.
That's exactly how they drew that play up, right? Fumble it in the backfield and then go. But already 2 times now, Toms has dropped the ball. It is slippery.
Zach Deal on the carry.
His Deal's going to get about 3 on this carry, maybe 4.
Garrett White's on the stop for Arlington.
Ball security is going to be so crucial tonight.
And these Red Devils are going to hit. They're going to hit you, and they're going to hit you hard.
Yeah, this Red Devils defense the last 2 weeks have allowed just 6 points, as there's enough for a Cubs first down. Dan Hawkinsmith gets into Arlington territory. First down, Lucas.
13 yards for the big guy up the middle. And that might be what wins the Lucas Cubs this football game. Hawkinsmith up the middle. They're trying to contain Toms and Deal on the edge. Hawkinsmith might be able to eat. Once they try to contain him, that edge is going to open up for those 2 speedsters. And that's where Lucas gets dangerous.
Yeah, there are just so many weapons in that backfield. You try to zero in on 1 or 2 guys, and then the 3rd guy steps up and picks up some big yards as this play's still going. Impressive to get back just to the line of scrimmage. But we've seen this before with Lucas, where if Toms doesn't have the night, you know, maybe it's Zach Deal, Hawkinsmith. Tim Daly has even gotten in there and made some big plays this year.
And Grayson Jackson has the speed to get a corner and keep some QB yards in there if need be. They've got plenty of guys on this roster that can do the things needed to win a football game. And that's one thing about Lucas that we've seen in Coach Spittler's career is it's never just one guy. They're always loaded with talent at multiple positions. And we're going to see Jackson in the gun for the first time tonight.
Jackson, the senior here on senior night as a penalty flag comes in.
We're going to have offsides on Arlington's defense, so they're going to give Lucas 5 extra yards here. Not something you want to do if you're Arlington. You don't want to give the Lucas Cubs free yards.
Yeah, with offense as explosive as this Lucas one can be, they don't need any help, so never want to give them free yardage like that. Makes this a much more manageable second down.
2nd and 5. We're going to see Jackson in the gun. You're probably going to see a Logan Toms or Zach Deal motion here. I would expect a jet sweep type of play. Try to get him to the edge. That's exactly what they're going to do. Toms is going to take it inside.
And he is out past the
Logan
30.
Toms on the carry.
Looks like it'll be enough for a Cubs first down.
They're going to give him about 6 on the carry.
And it is enough.
First down, Cubs.
Just inside the 30 now at the 29-yard line.
That's going to be the thing you see out of them. They want to run power out of that wing tee that they run. If they come out, they go motion out of the shotgun. They're still running power. They're just trying to spread you out a little bit and keep you honest.
Cubs moving down the field here on their opening drive, started back at their own 30. Jackson's going to keep it, and he is going to get spun around in the backfield and brought down for a big loss. Big stop there by the Arlington defense. Mason Cavaney getting back in there.
Up in the backfield by Mason Cavaney.
It's going to be a loss of about 6 on the play.
I like the Arlington band playing the little John Cena theme there after the big stop in the backfield.
Arlington, 36-yard line.
Now you got a 2nd and long. Lucas wants to run the football. This is where it becomes dangerous if you're Lucas. You know what Arlington's secondary is capable of. You do not want to get into a passing situation.
Well, especially this season, too. I mean, in previous Lucas seasons, too, they don't throw the ball a whole lot. It's difficult enough for them sometimes to throw it, and now you're trying to throw it in these conditions, which just adds to the sort of dilemma that they're in because, yeah, you're in this 2nd and long situation. Do you just play it safe this early in the game and run it a few times and see if you can get the first down, or do you take a shot?
Well, and if you're Lucas, the advantage you have is you have Aiden Collar as your kicker. You don't necessarily have to get a first down here to get into Aiden Collar range.
True.
Get 10 yards, get even the lost yards from the sack back, and you're inside Aiden Collar field goal range.
Collar on the season, 36 of 39 on extra point attempts and 4 of 6 on field goals. So he definitely has the leg.
We seen it 2 weeks ago when we were here. Every kickoff was through the end zone.
Yeah.
A one-night stay at Landall's Castle.
So here we go, 2nd and 17. Jackson rolls out, throws. The pass is complete and brought down for a short gain.
Grayson Jackson's pass is complete.
Great tackle out there on the edge. They're going to get 4 yards back on that play.
Yeah, 3rd and 13. Ball at the 34-yard line. Probably 4-down territory for Lucas, regardless of what happens on this play. You're kind of in no man's land right now.
Depends on how many yards you get on this play. Could you get to the 25 and maybe attempt 3? Toms has a corner.
He's got
he might get in. He's going to have a first down.
Brought down. It's enough for a first down. Zach Deal makes a big play.
That's all they need to happen to get this offense going. Toms or Deal gets a corner. Phenomenal blocking by the offensive line there to allow him to get that edge. And there's a Lucas first down, 3rd and 11. They get about 15.
So much for 4-down territory. Just pick it all up there on 3rd down. Puts them at the 14-yard line, so they are now into the red zone. Actually looks like the rain might have stopped.
Tom's
Still going. Tom's.
He's going to get 5.
He's inside the 10.
Tom's on the carry.
Boy, just when it looks like you've got him brought down, he just finds a way to keep going and get a couple more yards.
Very powerful lower body, very powerful legs. They never stop moving.
Gain of 5 on the play.
If you try to tackle him high, he's going to drive through it with his legs.
Down Cubs from the Arlington 9-yard
We've seen the screen pass, the swing pass he caught just 2 plays ago. They took him out low. He didn't get any extra yards out of it. That one, they tried to go too high. He got 5 yards after contact.
Already a lengthy drive, too, as we are at 4:45 to go in the first quarter. This drive taking over 7 minutes. This is vintage Lucas football here. Jackson hands it off. It's Toms, gets the carry. He's got enough for the first down. Does he even have for a touchdown? He's right at the goal line. He's going to be a little bit short. It'll be 1st and goal, Cubbies.
1st and goal from the 1. 8-yard gain there by Toms, and again you see it.
Ahead for another Cub first down.
6 yards after contact, just barreling through the Arlington Red Devils defense is Toms.
This Arlington defense, only 6 points allowed the last 2 weeks. But this Lucas Cubs football team built a little bit differently. Toms tries to get to the outside, and great pursuit there. Not allowing that to go for anything. Drew Metzger gets in on the tackle.
And you see that formation. They're expecting Toms to carry the ball. I'm curious to see if they've got something designed in there on that direct snap where he maybe dumps it out to a deal. Because it's so obvious that if you direct snap it to Logan Toms, he's going to take off with the ball.
It's a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. And Jackson's going to keep it. Lunges forward. He's still on his feet, and he looks to be in. There's the signal. Touchdown, Cubs.
Grayson Jackson.
From 4 yards out, Grayson Jackson right up the gut through the nose of the defense, does everything right and gets these Cubs on the scoreboard first. An 8-minute and 17-second drive.
Yeah, they had no trouble going right down the field there, finding the end zone on that opening drive, and they find themselves out to the early lead.
Aiden Keller on to attempt the point after. Bobby Grover with the hold. Reagan Spittler with the snap.
For Jackson, that's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and that extra point attempt could have been good from about 24 yards out.
3 minutes, 43
7-0 Lucas. We'll take a break and be right with you right here live and free on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback? Are you ready for the comeback?
Back here at Lucas, where the Cubs find themselves out to a 7-0 lead. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks, Jeremy Peoples on camera. Good crowd despite the weather. If you're watching us back home, throw on another blanket, put another log on the fire, get yourself nice and cozy. This should be a very entertaining football game. We'll see how the Arlington offense now responds here after Lucas goes right down the field. And that kick into the end zone for a touchback.
Aiden Kohler doing what Aiden Kohler does, kicking it through the end zone. I will say one thing. Arlington's about an hour and 15 from here, and they travel well for their football program.
Yeah. Well, this is a very proud football program, too. 663 career wins. That
Top 10.
puts them in the top 30 in Ohio for wins. Is it top 10? I know they're in the top 30.
I think it's top 20. I don't know if it's quite top 10, but I'm pretty sure it's top 20.
We'll split the difference and go top 20.
But that's an astounding number.
Yeah, they've been playing football for a long time in Arlington. We'll see how they respond on offense. This handoff up the middle, nowhere to go.
Announcement from the field. The officials have asked that the bands please do not play while play is going on the field. In the middle of a play, please do not play.
So gain of 2 on that play. 2nd down and 8. And a handoff up the middle, enough for a 1st down. Looked like it was going to be an option. Very sneaky play call right there gets enough for a Red Devils 1st down.
And that's Drew Metzger on the carry. He had the first carry that went for no gain. And he's going to get almost 15 on that one. Call it a gain of 14.
From their own 39-yard line.
So they're going with the dual back, lined up side by side. They run an option offense, so everything's based on the quarterback read.
Yeah, he typically does not get the carries as this dive up the middle goes for about 1, maybe 2.
Call it a gain of 2, it looks like. Yep. It's going to be Russell on the carry there.
That was Braden Spittler getting in there, disrupting that play right off the bat.
Senior night, senior making a play.
We saw a lot of that last week at East Knox.
We did.
A lot of guys that necessarily didn't do or show up in the box score a lot throughout the season had to kind of have their moment. It was really cool to see.
Pass.
Drop back to pass. Heacock's throw too high, brings up 3rd and long.
And that's that, it's that kind of night where
Intended for Brady Griggs.
wide receiver came out of the break and he slipped. We got a flag down on the play.
Yeah, thrown a little bit beyond the line of scrimmage. We'll see what they call here.
We have a personal foul on the Cubs. Coach Spittler letting the officials hear about it. It's going to be 15 yards and a 1st down.
That's going to move them past midfield. I didn't see anything.
Not sure what it was for. I just seen the personal foul.
Yeah, they didn't make a signal towards the press box side that we're on, did they? Did I miss it?
They did. They called it on the Cubs. I'm not sure what it was for exactly, though.
Either way, big 1st down for Arlington. Heacock is going to keep it.
He's going to get about 3. Call it 3.
Heacock does a lot with his legs, too. 97 carries, 393, 7 rushing touchdowns this season.
This offense that they run, very, very heavy on the quarterback being able to properly read his cues. He's got a cue on every play that he has to read. Normally it's going to be this outside backer. If they're going to go middle, it's going to be one of those middle guys. Read what their reaction is, and that's where you decide what you're going to do with the ball. As here he's going to look to read. He's going to look for a pitch. He's not able to get it, and Toms is going to meet him right at the line of scrimmage, but we've got another flag on the field. It looks like it would be in the area. The back judge threw it, maybe in the area of a hold.
Penalty flags down.
We'll see. Shot block on Arlington.
So that'll back them up onto the other side of the 50, back into their own territory.
Back them up 10.
Back and forth 15-yard penalties here.
Backs them up to their own 43-yard line. 2nd down.
The penalty giveth, the penalty taketh.
It does. It does.
It's going to make it 2nd and 21.
And with the offense both these teams run, we're already a minute into, almost under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Fast-moving first quarter. Heacock wanted to throw. Now he's going to step up. There's a couple Cubs waiting for him. He gets close to midfield, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. He dropped back to throw, and he kind of slipped a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to get 7 on the carry, but
Heacock on the carry.
he wanted to throw that ball downfield. A night like tonight, though, that's going to be difficult to do.
Yeah, your time to do it might be now, although it is still coming down. It's almost like a mist if I look up at the lights.
Well, if you remember, we were here 2 weeks ago when they played Plymouth, and that was a dry evening.
It was.
And it was still slick on the field.
That's true. Yeah, there are some puddles out there tonight. It poured for like an hour before the game. Handoff up the middle, lowering the shoulder and getting a couple yards there.
That's Russell.
Caden Russell, we highlighted him in the pregame show. That's going to bring up a 4th down, and that is going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Lucas leads 7-0 after 1. We'll have the second quarter for you after the break, live and free on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Welcome back in where it is 7-0 Cubs, start of the second quarter. And it is 4th down. And that punt off the side of the foot.
Looks like they're going to get possession at about the 34-yard line.
Brady Griggs travels out of bounds.
It's only about a 10-yard punt.
Yeah.
And that's tough. You don't want to give the Cubs, we seen 2 weeks ago when we were here, and even last week against Fort Loramie, field position, field position, field position. Against Plymouth 2 weeks ago, they had very favorable field position on every possession, and it's starting that way tonight already.
Second offensive possession here for the Cubs. Toss to the outside. Tom's looking to cut upfield. Penalty flag comes in. He's tripped up for a minimal gain, but this is probably coming back.
Penalty flags down. Ball is holding on the Cubs.
Did you hear Coach Spittler again from our spot giving it to the official? The official's giving it right back to him.
Well, what's the old adage? There's holding on every play, right? It's just whether
And
or
there
not
is.
they decide to call it.
As we hear the Arlington fans, the Lucas plays a semi backing up when a penalty is called on the other team. We just heard the Arlington fans beep.
Yeah. And we got some movement. So
they're going to get 5 of those 10 right back.
We've got dueling backup signal sound effects going between these fan bases. It's always an atmosphere when you come here to a game at Lucas.
It's a fun atmosphere, and it's one of those reasons why the Lucas Cubs are as good as they are. They're going to go inside handoff.
Leaping over the line of scrimmage, still going, spinning as Toms, and he's got enough for a Cubs first down. What a run from Logan Toms.
18 yards on the carry for Toms. And that was a very, very hard fought 18 yards there for Logan Toms.
Just when you think you've seen all the moves he's got in his bag of tricks.
He went open over somebody.
He did. Handoff right up the middle. 1 yard maybe on the play.
Half yard. Maybe they'll give him a full yard for Hawkinsmith.
Smith on the carry.
We'll give him 1.
Gain of a yard. It's going to bring up second down.
It's about the 3rd or 4th carry now for Hawkinsmith tonight.
I got him down for 3. 20 yards on 3 carries. Toms has been the workhorse so far, which is something we've seen all year. He's on 7 carries.
Officially a gain of 1. It's 2nd down and 9. And toss goes to Toms. He's out into Arlington territory. And a penalty flag comes in.
Penalty flags down.
We're going to have a personal foul on Lucas.
So it is chippy out there. There was, after the opening drive, Lucas went down and scored that touchdown. There was some pushing and shoving in the end zone.
There was. And it's one of those things where you're going to hear the Lucas Cubs sideline. You just heard Coach Spittler. I actually did see what happened there. The lineman took him to the ground. The lineman took him to the ground. The kid for Arlington still had a hold of the lineman's as he tried to stand up. And the Lucas kid just put him right back on the ground. And that's what they call the personal foul for. You're allowed to block until the whistle. That's what these kids are taught.
Yeah. So it is 3rd and long now.
They're down Cubs from their own 37-yard
3rd and
line.
19.
Toms is going to get it. He's going to cut up field. And
Logan
He's going to get the penalty yardage back. He's going to get about 11 on the carry, but they're going to be at a 4th and 8.
Max Joef on the stop for Arlington.
Just to put it in perspective, that's 3 penalties
48-yard line.
for 40 yards.
it's, yeah, there's been a lot of laundry out there here so far in this one.
This caller's back to punt.
Color and punt formation for the Cubs.
So Arlington gets the stop they needed, aided by some penalties, but nonetheless
A
they get a stop.
big boot.
That is going to take a bounce straight up, and that is not.
And that's
going
going to
to
be inside the 5-yard line. That's about a 60, almost 60-yard punt by Aiden Caller. So not only can he kick it off a tee, he can punt the ball pretty well too.
Perfect conditions too to have kind of that dead ball punt that just doesn't take a bounce and roll. Just kind of hit with a thud and then didn't really move anywhere. And now Arlington backed up all the way
Inside the 5. It looks like that ball's on the 4-yard line.
Talk about flipping the field.
You can't do it any better.
They do spot him at the 4. 9:08 to go here until halftime. And handoff gets out close to the 10-yard line.
Looks like they're going to spot him at about the 7, maybe 8.
Russell on the carry.
Caden Russell, the ball carrier.
Give him a gain of 4.
Caden Russell had himself a ball game last week in that win over Van Buren. 28 carries, 186 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Definitely the workhorse last week. Only has 3 carries so far tonight.
From their own 8-yard line.
Gain of 4. It's 2nd down and 6 as Heacock tried to run the option there. Didn't have much luck with it. Brings up 3rd down.
He's going to get it to the 10. They're going to get about 2 there.
Short gain on the play is going to bring up 3rd down Arlington. Just outside their own 10-yard line.
3rd and 4 from the 10-yard line. This is an important 3rd down because we've seen what the first punt did.
Yeah, just for the sake of not getting buried in the field position battle, as that handoff up the middle looks like he's going to be
right at the line to gain. They're going to give him the 1st down. They're going to tell the chains to move.
It is enough for a Red Devils 1st down.
As I want to say that was
Caden Russell on the carry.
Caden Russell again.
Picks up an Arlington 1st down.
Call it again a 5. Russell now showing he is the workhorse as he's had every carry except for 1 on this drive so far.
Fresh set of downs. Heacock drops back to pass. No one open, and he is going to get gobbled up in the backfield.
Heacock is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to go back to the 11. It's a 4-yard loss.
Loss of 3 on that last play. 2nd down, 13.
The music they play here
It's just
at Bob Wine Field.
It's something, right? Everyone kind of looks around, and then they're like, okay, and they start to get into it.
Don't know when to expect it or what to expect because it's such a wide variety of what that person in charge of the music is going to play.
Pitch to the outside, nowhere to go, as the Cubs were all over it. Zachary Winters.
Carry brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Zach Winters.
They're going to be inside of the 10. Looks like he's going to lose about 4 again. Call it 3.
So it is now 3rd and 17. And after they were able to pick up that 1st down, now looking at a very dire 3rd down situation here.
And this is almost a passing situation.
Yeah, if
3rd down 17 for Arlington.
They haven't had time to throw it, though, yet.
Ball's on their own 8-yard line.
I don't know. They might just run this thing, and they are
As
going
they
to
will,
run it,
and he's got a
gonna have
corner.
A lot of success.
He's up the sideline.
There is only one man to beat, and he is going to be brought down, but a huge conversion for the Red Devils.
Caden Russell on the carry. Picks up an Arlington.
62 yards on the carry.
Logan Toms and Stevan Irby on the stop for the Cubs.
We have seen some third and long conversions tonight from both squads. And what we thought was going to be a passing situation, no, give it to the big fella, the workhorse. Let him go to work.
Well, Logan Toms saved a touchdown right there.
Yeah, he did.
First down, Red Devils from the Cubs.
It's a great run by Russell.
5.5 to go here until halftime. Hecuck.
Looks like they're going to give him forward progress for about a yard.
Metzger on the carry.
Yeah, so they've had some interesting run designs here where like Hecuck kind of, it's almost like a read option, and he's just kind of not making the read right when he needs to. And
He's riding out that back too long. That first back he has a read on, he's riding him way too long. He's not making the decision soon enough to either keep it himself and give himself a chance to make a play or give that back a chance to make a cut. He's riding that out until literally the last second, to where even if he takes it from him, he's going to get hit by that outside linebacker coming in on the edge.
it's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the 32. Ball is out. And Lucas signaling that they've got it.
And it's going to be Lucas Cub football.
So a huge turnover there as Arlington was driving down the field. Chance to tie this thing up. But already that is the third fumble we've seen tonight. That's the first by Arlington. Lucas recovered both of theirs, but the Cubbies get a huge stop defensively.
That is a huge stop for them because Arlington was moving down the field, eating clock. That was a Lucas Cub drive.
And what was important, too, Arlington gets the ball to start the second half, too. So you're starting to look at that clock and go, boy, if they score here with only about a minute or two to go, you're looking at almost a two-possession.
Yeah, you're looking at a 7-point swing because Lucas, can they score fast? Yes, if they have a big play for Toms or Deal, they can score fast. But they're not going to throw the ball 80 yards down the field to get a touchdown in 2 minutes.
Toms trying to counter what Russell did.
Logan Toms, ball carrier.
And it's enough
Kicks it ahead
for a Cubs first down.
He's going to get exactly 10 on that play, it looks like.
Gets it to the 41-yard line. And that's the thing, too, with these conditions tonight. It's almost like the longer your drives are, the more at risk you are of turning it over, because all it takes is one slip with the football. And that's kind of how these teams are built, to kind of have those long drives. But with these conditions, that might almost be a detriment, too. Great patience here by Toms. He's out into Arlington territory, knocked out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
Tom's going to get 15 on that one, and it's just patience by Logan Toms. He waited for his blockers to seal the edge. He cut back inside of them. You can't ask for much more out of your senior leader, your senior running back, other than to have patience, let his offensive line do the job they're supposed to do. And when he does that, that's what's going to happen every single time. Toms again.
Boy, he almost broke that one loose. And a penalty flag comes in.
Another one.
Another flag down on the field.
As we hear the Cubs fans out in front of us.
I've learned no fan base is ever happy with a call that goes against them. And this actually might be going against Arlington, so we'll see now.
It is going to go against Arlington. They're going to call a personal foul on them, so it's this back and forth that's been going on. It's been chippy all night. But that's a costly one on the Red Devils.
Well, it's interesting now. Everyone seemed to like the call on this side. They didn't like it moments ago, but now that moves the Cubs. As the fans in front of us are having a good time. So here we go. They are now in the red zone. Ball at the 17.
3 minutes to go. Tom's again on the carry. He's going to cut back.
Cuts back.
He's got a lot of room.
Lowers the shoulder. He is still on his feet, and he is just shy of the end zone. But my goodness, Logan Toms simply will not be stopped right now.
That's going to be about 15 on that carry for Toms. And his last 5 carries have all been for 10 or more yards.
First down, goal to go for the Cubs. Right around the Arlington 2-yard line.
First and goal at the 2.
And this would be a huge score for the Cubs.
Yeah, this coming off of the Arlington turnover.
Go up 2 scores. You know they get ball back before half as Toms is going to keep it. He's going to get an edge,
Number
and he's going to score.
Is in for 6. 2:56 to go. Logan Toms
2 yards out for the touchdown.
matches his jersey number with a 2-yard touchdown run there. 13-0 Cubbies, and a huge shift of momentum as Arlington converted a huge 3rd and 17 on a 62-yard run and then coughed it up.
On a bad snap. It wasn't even, it wasn't a bad handoff. They've done everything right. It was a bad snap, and that turned into a Lucas Cubs touchdown.
Culler's kick is up, and it is good. His 38th extra point attempt made on the season makes it 14-0. We'll be right back, live and free on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback? The comeback.
Welcome back into Lucas, Ohio, where the Cubs find themselves up 14-0 here. 3 minutes to go until halftime. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks. Big drive there from the Cubs off the turnover, pushing this thing out to a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, they went to their workhorse. Logan Toms carried the ball every single time on that entire drive, that 73-yard drive. As Culler's going to look to boot it through the end zone as we've become accustomed to seeing.
That one might be a little bit short.
It is going to be short. It's going to be fielded.
And a big return still going. Exactly what Arlington needed as they take it all the way back into Lucas territory.
On the other side of the 50. It's a phenomenal return, and if the Arlington Red Devils wanted a chance to score before half, that's what they had to have.
Boy, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon. That was some speed on display right there.
That was a phenomenal kick return. He caught it. He went right up the right sideline, and poor kick coverage on the Cubs side.
It's just amazing, too. We rarely get to see kick returns in football anymore because, you know, kicks go out of bounds, back of the end zone, touchback or whatnot. Or if you do get a good return, there tends to be a penalty on the play. But the Cubs quickly trying to snuff out the momentum after that return.
And that's that read option that Heacock is just struggling to get the right read on. They're doing a great job of closing all angles for him.
I would say, is it more on Heacock, or is this just a credit to Lucas's defense up front as Heacock's pass a little too high brings up 3rd down?
I mean, it's Lucas's defense, but I think it's what I had mentioned earlier. I think it's he's riding that back out too long. He's not making a decision quick enough. On an offense like this, that decision has to be quick. Because if you're going to keep it as the quarterback to run that option, because that's what they're doing. Off of that read, that initial read by him, if he keeps it, he can either keep it around an edge or he's got an option pitch that he has as well. So he's got to read it quicker to know, hey, am I going with the pitch? Do I have time to keep it? Because they're going to throw it again. He's got pressure.
It's a screen to the outside and little gain on the play. Luke Metzger on the reception, but it's going to be well short of the sticks and bring up 4th down. And
they're going to get back the 2 yards that they had lost earlier.
1 yard gain.
Kind of surprised we didn't see Lucas maybe take a timeout here. Clock continues to run at 1:45.
Toms is going to go back. One of the most dangerous punt returners in the area, Logan Toms, back to return this punt.
Yeah, Arlington can still take 10 more seconds off of this before they have to snap it. We'll see, too. They might maybe want to take the penalty. I don't know. We'll see. They do snap it with about 3 to go. That might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to roll out. Big rollout for Arlington. Minute 16 left here before half, and the Cubs are going to take over at the 14-yard line, as I think that ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage by a Cub.
Yeah, it looked like Deal got in there and might have gotten a hand on it.
Now, if you're the Cubs here, are you going back to your workhorse for the last minute 16, or are you going to throw a little trickery at them and see if you can put another one on the board?
I think you're up 2 scores, that you just kind of hand this off and see where
we're going to have encroachment again on Arlington.
They have jumped every single time Lucas has brought a guy in motion.
When they go with that hard count, they start that guy in motion, they go hard count. It's been an encroachment. I think there was one time Lucas did it. They tried to do it 2 consecutive plays, and Arlington didn't jump the second time. But other than that, they've jumped, as you said, every single time.
It's bitten them almost every single time. So it's 1st and 5. And Toms cuts it back, bulldozes his own blocker out in front of him. Gets enough for a 1st down.
He's going to get 8.
I think that was Zach Winters that he just was like, get out of my way, dude. I'm trying to score here.
And I'll tell you what, if Winters not in the way, he might get that edge and he might still be running.
Clock, by the way, is still running as we are now at 1 minute. Lucas does have 2 timeouts left.
If you're Coach Spittler, you're up 2 scores. If you get a big one here, which they're going to look to go deep.
Jackson's going to take a shot downfield. He's got his man behind the defender.
He's got
Deal. Complete. Down to the 35-yard line.
It's going to be a 35-yard completion for Grayson Jackson.
And the Cubs will take a timeout. So they have 1 remaining, but there you go. They took that shot downfield.
We seen 2 weeks ago when we were here a wide receiver pass from Bobby Grover to Zach Deal. And that was a wobbly throw, but an on-target throw by Grayson Jackson to Deal, who beat his man downfield. And I tell you what, if that throw is maybe on target, that might be a touchdown. Deal kind of had to stop and come back to it just a step or two, and the Arlington defense was able to catch up to him.
Tell you what, though, seeing Grayson Jackson from week 1 now to week 10, and just the confidence he's got throwing the ball downfield, I still can't wrap my head around that Clear Fork loss. I was there for that game, and that was a head scratcher as to how they couldn't find a way to win that game. But you could see that he was definitely a little timid.
What's fun
at the quarterback position. But
what's fun is I've seen most of these kids play the game of football since they were in 7th grade. They're mostly seniors now. Grayson Jackson played quarterback in the middle school level. He gets into high school, he's got the likes of Logan Nicewander and Andrew Smolin ahead of him. He didn't get back under center until senior year. Toms is going to get this one around an edge.
Boy, stop us if you've heard this before, but Toms takes it, and he's got quite a few yards.
He's going to get about 4, 3, we'll call it 3.
Oh, the official just got knocked down by one of the Lucas linemen. Wrong place at the wrong time.
And if you Lucas here, 44 seconds and 1 timeout, keep the ball on the outside, get as much as you can, try to get in a field goal range.
I'd say you're getting in the color range here.
I'd say
probably need about 15.
I'd say 10 more would probably be comfortable for him. I think 37 is doable for Collar. There goes Toms again.
Lowers the shoulder, and he is going to stay in bounds. That was actually Grayson Jackson who kept it. It's enough for a 1st down.
Cub fans, just a reminder tonight, immediately following the game at the Lucas Community Center. Rewatch the game and free pizza tonight at the Community Center.
Toms now. He's got blockers out in front of him.
And you can see all of these runs are wisely going out of bounds.
He's going to get 1.
But all these runs are designed to get just a couple yards and be able to get out of bounds. Just that 1 timeout left.
It looks like they're about the 24-yard line.
I would not be surprised to see another pass attempt maybe on this play here, 2nd down.
This play, maybe 1 more. You still have a timeout left if you're Lucas. Run it again. If you don't get out of bounds, use your timeout and then take a shot. And that incompletion, they're going to go back inside the Deal.
Ooh, he took a big
hit
there.
He got lit up. That was number 10, Luke Metzger, who met him.
The clock is going to continue to run, so they are going to let this thing wind down and
Garrett Weiss
attempt a field goal.
That's what I would assume Spittler's going to do here. He's going to call a timeout. 2 seconds remaining.
Timeout Cubs.
We'll see if he's going to send out caller for the field goal,
Again, a reminder tonight.
or if he's going to keep the offense on the field and try to throw it into the end zone.
Rewatch the game on the big screen TV and free pizza tonight.
They're going to give Deal a gain of 1 on that last play, but he was met hard in the hole by Luke Metzger.
Yeah.
And that's something, you know, yes, Lucas Toms had 5 consecutive runs of over 10 yards, but this Arlington defense has done a great job so far this evening of containing the edge. They haven't let Deal get a big run. They let Toms, but most of those were that power they want to run. The blockers, his pool blockers got out in front of him. They did their job. As long as Lucas's offensive line does their job, you cannot contain the edge. His caller is going to attempt
And ball's on the 21.
a 38-yard field goal. A 38-yard attempt from Aiden Caller here.
This would be his 5th make of the season. He's 4 of 6.
Spittler to snap, Grover to hold, Caller to kick.
It's a low snap.
Grover gets it down, Caller's kick is up. And
How
good!
about that? 39 yards from Aiden Culler, the senior kicker on senior night, boots it through. And that makes it 17-0 Lucas at the half. Stick around. We'll have both marching band performances coming up for you on the other side of the break. You're watching high school football live and free on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Welcome in to our TMS Plus digital marketing halftime show, where it has been a dominant performance from the Lucas Cubs here tonight, leading 17-0 at halftime in a game that Arlington really needs to solidify their playoff positioning. A loss tonight, they might find themselves on the outside looking in, depending on where everyone else's results end up throughout this night.
Yeah, a loss tonight could see them ending the year number 17 in their region. A win, they come back 17-0 second half and beat the Lucas Cubs. There's a very, very small outside chance that the Arlington Red Devils are hosting a playoff game next week in Arlington.
Yeah, Lucas is already clinched, but they have a chance to maybe host 2 games if they get a win here tonight and hang on and win this thing 17-0. Arlington loss drops them to maybe a 10 seed and potentially out. Remember, the top 16s get in from each region now. So a loss doesn't necessarily eliminate them, but it certainly will hurt their chances. So we're about 2 minutes away from kickoff here for the second half. Arlington will receive to start. But let's take a look at some of those halftime stats here for you in a game that had a lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties, a lot of personal foul penalties. Not just penalties, a lot of personal fouls. But a game that was really statistically dominated by the Cubs. They were 2 for 2 passing for 39 yards. But the big thing is 149 yards on the ground. Logan Toms in that first half had 15 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown. And they bottled him up on the first drive.
Yeah, he really didn't get many carries on that opening drive, and if he did, like you said, they bottled him up. He was like a possessed man on that last drive, where every time he touched the ball, he was getting, it felt like 15 yards at least on every single carry.
He had 5 consecutive carries of 10 yards, and 3 of those 5 were for 15 plus. But on the other side, Arlington Red Devils ran for 100 yards on this Lucas Cubs defense. That's not something you see teams do very often. And that was on the legs of Caden Russell, who had 6 carries for 80 yards. Granted, 62 of them coming on one play. As we get ready for kickoff from Aiden Caller, 62 yards came on one play. And this is a completely different ball game if they don't fumble a snap on the very next play and the Cubs take over possession and drive down the field and score and go up 14-0 with about 3.5, 4 minutes to go in that second half, or in that first half.
So we'll see if Arlington, they had a drive. They were marching downfield, got a big 3rd and 17 conversion. They had about a 62-yard run that brought them into Lucas territory. And then the next play, they coughed it up. Lucas responded, took it down the field, really swung the momentum around. As the Cubs sideline tried to get the crowd into it.
Braden Spittler trying to get the crowd into it on his last time here. Well, last regular season game here at Bime Wide Field. His caller's going to kick it short again. Last time he did this, they got a big return.
Yeah, and it looks like it might be another one as they're able to prevent a very long return, but still a nice one there. Arlington now trying to put together a drive here and find the end zone to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, this is a very, very important drive for the Arlington Red Devils. Your offense has worked. Has it worked the way you wanted it to? No. But it has worked against this Cubs defense. But 17-0 against a team that's going to chew the clock just like you are, you got to try to get in quick.
And they're going to try it through the air, and that pass is complete and knocked out. I think it's actually going to be ruled incomplete as a penalty flag also flies in.
We're going to have, I want to say that's in the area of holding, but I'm not quite sure what we're going to call here. It's been kind of a back and forth. We're going to have a hold.
Holding on Arlington.
We're going to back them up 10.
So not how you want to start the drive off. After a first half that saw a lot of penalties, you come out in the very first play, you're back up 10 yards.
And you're really putting yourself in a bad spot. Their punter has struggled so far this evening. His last punt there in the first half did get a decent roll, but it was also tipped at the line of scrimmage. They're going to hand it off to Russell, it looks like. No, that's going to be Weaver. It's going to be Drew Metzger on that carry as he's going to get 1 yard. Bottled up pretty quick by the interior of that Cub defense as he tried to get an edge.
I'm a little surprised how much they've handed the ball off to Metzger tonight. Not really a guy we had kind of circled as someone that would play a role in the running game.
Well, looking at their stats, though,
they are searching for some bodies after Aiden Cavity.
Yeah, after
went
he
down,
goes
I think,
down
a couple weeks ago.
I think it was 2 weeks ago he goes down with an injury. He was averaging almost 11 yards a carry on the season with 10-plus touchdowns before he went down with injury.
Boy, once again, that read option just has not been there tonight.
And now you're going to be in a third and long. Because I want to say that was Russell on that carry. He went nowhere. They're going to take a yard away, so we're going to be 3rd and 20, 3rd and double sticks.
Well, we've seen them pick this up before. They had 3rd and 17 inside their own 10 and ran it for 60-plus yards. We saw Lucas convert a 3rd and long as well.
Here's the biggest difference, though. Coach Spittler is one of the best halftime adjusters in the area. So we're going to see a different Cubs defense.
Handoff up the middle, playing it safe, and it's only going to go for a couple, so Arlington finds themselves in a punt situation here. Penalty really hurt them right off the bat.
Brady Griggs on the punt for Arlington.
They're going to look to punt again.
Logan Tom's deep to receive for the Cubs.
We'll see if they're able to get a better punt off, because as you mentioned, the last few have been a struggle. Yeah, that's exactly the word I was going to use. And this one, much better.
They're angling. They're not even going to give Toms a chance to return it. Angling it away. That's a great punt. Good flip field position there. Cubs are going to take over inside their 30 at about the 26-yard line. But this is an offense that really found their rhythm to close out that first half as they scored twice in the second quarter. Toms became their workhorse, 15 carries in that first half. We'll see if they keep him as the workhorse, which I thoroughly expect him to do.
And this is the play that they ran to a lot of success most of that first half. Logan Toms gets that little pitch in the backfield, and he's got such patience back there too.
He does.
That he just waits for that opportunity to strike, finds it, and then he's off and running.
Call that a gain of 6. They'll call it 7 on the scoreboard. I'm pretty sure they're 4 yards short of the first down, not just 3.
Are you calling out the scoreboard spot?
Hey. Tom's in motion again. They're going to go right back to him. He's going to cut back inside. There's the patience.
And there's the hurdle.
And he spins off of somebody. He loses his footing, or he's still running.
Takes it ahead for a cut first down.
The hurdle is a new move. I haven't seen the hurdle this year, but he's done it twice tonight, and both times it's paid off.
Another 10-yard gain for Tom's.
It's like the 5th or 6th one, right?
6th one. 6 carry of over 10 yards. And there's nothing special. It really isn't. This is what they practice Monday through Thursday. They don't change it. They're not changing their offense just because they're playing somebody that can stop it. They're going to make you stop it. They're going to go right back to Tom's again.
And
he's going to cut inside.
Why would you change it?
I mean, you're getting 2-3 yards of carry.
Logan Toms on the carry. Getting a 2 on the play.
Yeah, Arlington has not been able to get that push up front.
Well, the thing about it is, like, right there on that play, the outside, the defensive end had the steal, but the kick-out block got to him before he got to Tom's, and that's what ended up getting him 2-3 yards. They're going to go to Deal this time on the other side.
Change of pace, Deal gets right about to midfield. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Deal on the carry.
Going to be about 3rd and 5. Call that a gain of 3 for Deal. And this is where the Cubs like to go to that little inside reverse here.
Yeah.
You went Tom's 3 or 4 times in a row, and then you went Deal. Now you'll see Deal go in motion, and they'll do a little inside handoff to Tom's coming the other way, and it really catches defenses off the guard. Or do you see Tom's come in motion and then throw it again?
I'd be surprised to see them throw it the rest of the night unless they're really in a position where they have to. Deal gets it, and he's got enough for another Cubs first down. Gets inside the 45.
Deal's going to get 8. And it's Lucas Cubs football. You're up 17-0. You're not in a hurry.
I was just going to say they are very content to just sort of take their time here.
I mean, they've gained 3 first downs already on this drive, 30 yards. They've taken almost 6 minutes off the clock. There's Tom's again. He gets another 4.
Logan Toms on the carry.
And you just keep expecting him to, like, need a breather or, like, run out of gas, and he doesn't. It's incredible how many times they give him the ball, and he's still just like, I'm good. Keep feeding it to me.
Not only keep feeding it to me, but then when they come off the field offensively, he stays on the field defensively and plays every snap both sides of the ball.
It's Deal this time. Stutter steps and tries to find an opening, but there isn't one. Arlington does a nice job there defensively to stop him.
Looks like forward progress might get him 1. We're going to have 3rd and 6. Last time they went to Deal here, where do we go? Is this where we see that little counter action, that little inside reverse?
I think you got to give it to Logan. I mean,
you have to.
We'll see, too. Arlington, we talked about this in the first half. They jumped every time they did that hard count and sent them in motion. I wouldn't be surprised to see them run that play here and try and get an easy 5.
An easy 5, make it 3rd and 6, become 3rd and 1. They're not going to. They're just going to give it straight to the workhorse, Logan Toms, and he's got a corner. He's going to take it to the house. Logan Toms from 40.
Logan Toms, 40-yard touchdown.
What more can you say about Logan Toms? As the fireworks go off here in Lucas, 23-0.
His 2nd of the night. And that puts him close to 200 yards.
Unbelievable.
On the evening.
And it's the 3rd quarter.
Bobby Drover with the hold.
And he didn't even, like we said, that opening drive, he wasn't even really involved.
Something lit underneath him. He got a fire lit underneath him between that first drive and that 2nd drive. And he became, like you said, a man possessed and he was not going to be stopped as Caller is going to nail the PAT 24-0. We'll be back for the rest of this half after a quick break.
In the third quarter here from Bob Line Field to score.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Welcome back into Lucas, Ohio, where it is all Cubs tonight here on senior night, leading 24-0 here in the third quarter. Andy Jardy alongside Joshua Banks, Jeremy Peoples on camera, and meteorology tonight. He gave us the weather report that the rain is done. So if anything happens, it's his fault. That's what we're going with the rest of the night.
Sounds good to me. Caller to boot it. It's going to squib it.
And just sliding down. Oh,
there's going to be a flag. Yep.
Late hit.
That's going to be 15.
And just not what you need if you're Lucas. You're up big, and this is an Arlington team. Storied program. They know how to win some games and come back from some deficits.
They do.
You give them some yardage there.
Yeah, that's absolutely the correct call there by the officials. He slid. He was clearly on the ground when the Lucas Cub came in and hit him. It's going to be 15 on top of where he slid at.
That'll put them right about at midfield. They're going to be at the 47-yard line.
Here's the thing, though. The last drive was 3 and out.
Yeah. Heacock is going to throw, or at least try to. He's under pressure, and he's going to get sacked in the backfield. Great coverage downfield. He had nowhere to go with it.
Ray Caudell shedded the offensive lineman, and he did not let Heacock get to the edge. He comes up with a sack. 2nd and 12. Now we're in a situation, if you're Arlington, you have to try to throw the ball. And that's what these Lucas Cubs want to force you to do. They want to let that defensive line eat. Right back to the option.
And he's going to pitch it now, and that is actually going to have some success. It's got enough for a first down inside the 40, down around the 35-yard line. So a much-needed first down for Arlington. And it looked like almost going to be another broken read option play, but he was able to get time and pitch that one off.
Yeah, that's the read that I was talking about. I've been talking about all night. He didn't keep it with the inside back too long. He couldn't get to the edge. He got the pitch to Russell, and he ends up getting 18 yards on the carry.
It's really one of the first big runs for Caden Russell tonight, too. And they feed it to him again, and now you can see him running with a little bit more confidence.
As he's going to get about 6, call it 5 on that carry.
Russell on the season coming into tonight, just over 600 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns.
Really been their workhorse since the starter went out.
3:40 to go and counting here in the third quarter. And
Russell again, nice read.
Caden Russell again on the carry.
Call that a first down.
We were talking a little bit in the break about how big the field goal was by the Cubs before the halftime, because while it is still a 3-possession game, they have got to make every 2-point conversion to get back into this.
Exactly.
Had he missed it, you would just, need your 3 extra points, but they're going to have to convert 3 2-point conversions if they want to tie this thing up.
Well, and it's one of those situations where you were up 14-0. 14-0 in high school football really isn't much of a deficit. If Kohler misses that field goal before half, Arlington gets the ball like we talked about coming out in the second half. This could be a totally different game if they have a better possession to start the second half. Drive down the field, score, 14-7.
I feel like this would be a totally different ball game had they not fumbled after that big run. Heacock's going to keep it, and there's going to be no flag on the play. Thought we were going to see a late hit there.
And that's what you hear the Lucas fans and the Lucas coaches complaining about, is that player clearly was shoved after the whistle, and there was nothing. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, did not get enough for the first down.
Let's hear you, Cup fans.
Handoff.
That's going to be close. It's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah. I can't see the officials' signal yet.
This one looks like he's standing right on the line to gain.
They're
going to move it. That was close.
Yeah, it is enough for a first down, but it was very close.
And Russell takes it ahead for an Arlington first down.
But here's the thing. We're at 1:50 and counting. Arlington's trying to put their first points on the board, but if they want to have a shot in this game, they've got to go quicker.
And they need a score here. It's the run up the middle, gets a couple.
Russell's going to get about 3 on that carry.
And that's the thing, too. When you're playing against Lucas and you get down multiple possessions, they do such a good job of limiting your possessions because of how long their drives go for.
Yep.
And with Arlington, too, I mean, this is not a quick strike offense through the air. They are very similar in that they just run the football. So unless you're going to break off some big runs, it's going to take them some time to score. Cutting inside the 10-yard line, close to the first down.
Looks like he's going to get 5. Is that Russell again?
It is Russell again.
Caden Russell, the ball carrier.
Russell becoming the workhorse in the second half for Arlington. And it's going to be another 3rd and 1.
Hopkins Smith and Grayson Jackson in on that last stop. 3rd down and a yard for the Red Devils from right around the Cub 9.
4-down territory, obviously.
Yeah, this is, you got 2 plays to get a yard here. Under 30 seconds to go now in the 3rd quarter. Heacock under center. And they hand it off. He's got enough for a first down and brought down just a couple yards shy is Drew Metzger.
Drew Metzger on the carry.
Stevan Irby on the stop.
And I'm with you, though. They got to pick up the pace a little bit here. You got to put this thing in the end zone before the quarter is up.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's one of those situations where you have to put the ball in the end zone before the quarter. Russell's going to get it. Looks like he's going to fight his way. He's going to be short. We'll see where they mark him. They're going to call him down at the 1.
Lucas is signaling they've got the football, but it's going to be 2nd down, and that is going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. So we'll see if Arlington can punch this in and make it a game here in the 4th quarter. We'll have it for you on the other side of the break here, live and free on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Back here for the 4th quarter. Lucas leads this thing 24-0, but Arlington knocking on the door here, 2nd and goal from the 2. Got to find the end zone and get a couple 2-point conversions here and get some stops, most importantly, too, which is something they've just not been able to do with this Lucas offense.
Yeah, Lucas has really went to the state of mind where they are Logan Toms. Yeah, there's going to be a 5-yard false start on the quarterback. You don't see it very often on the quarterback, but he tried to get that extra jump over the center to get into the end zone before he even had the snap.
Just a little too antsy there right down by the goal line.
And that's a big penalty.
Yeah.
Now you're 2nd and goal from the 6 instead of 2nd and goal from the 1.
This is an Arlington team, too. They have not been shut out this season. And we have a timeout. Officials timeout? What do we got here? I think they're putting 12 minutes back on the clock.
Yeah, no time should have ran off the clock. The play never got officially was snapped. Yep, that's what they just told the official score to do. 12 minutes back on the clock it is.
Are you surprised by how dominant of an effort this has been from Lucas? I mean, Arlington won this game last year. As this toss goes to the outside, cuts back in, and
it's going to be
short of the end zone. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
I believe that was Metzger on that carry.
Not sure if it
nope,
was
that was
him.
Russell.
Yeah, I think it was Russell.
Caden Russell, the ball carrier.
Another gain of 5 for Russell.
So there you go. They picked up the penalty yardage, which you were talking about how big of a penalty that was, because they probably would have scored.
Now you're 3rd and 1, inside the 1. Do you try to go sneak again?
I think you have 2 plays here to just let Heacock try and run it.
They're going to give it to Russell.
And
He's going to be stuffed. He's going to be stuffed.
He's short.
Now you're going to have 4th and goal from the 1. That's a great job by, guess who just came up out of the bottom of that top pile?
Who else would it have been?
Who else makes that play other than the guy that's been the workhorse all night, Logan Toms?
It's just unbelievable.
4th and 1 for Lucas to preserve the shutout.
Yeah, Arlington has not been shut out this season. Again, you've got 2. I'm surprised Heacock hasn't just taken it under center and fallen forward. They hand it off again, and he did not get in.
The goal line stand by this Lucas Cubs defense to preserve a shutout here at home. You can't play it any better than what they just did. And that's Braden Spittler blowing up the middle to make a play. Him and Logan Toms defensively, they're the 2 catalysts on defense.
What a stand. That penalty was huge. The penalty was huge because they had him 2nd and goal from the 2. Maybe it was the 1. Backed him up 5 and unable to convert. And that is just a deflating end to that drive. Again, another Arlington drive that looked good but did not find the end zone. But now Lucas has got to find a way to get a little breathing room here. And they will get some.
Looks like that's
thanks to
Logan Toms.
So they've taken over with about 10.5 minutes to go. We'll see if Arlington gets the ball back, how much time Lucas is able to take off the clock here.
On the first drive of the game when they scored, they took almost 8 minutes off of the clock.
Yeah.
Deal's going to get it this time around the edge.
And makes a couple defenders miss, cuts up field.
He's going to have a 1st down. Looks like he's going to get about 10 on that carry for Deal. And when we were here 2 weeks ago, that's who we ended up speaking with after the game as our MVP. He had a phenomenal night against Plymouth, coming off of an injury. And we spoke with him that night about what it's like to play with him and Logan Toms as a duo in the backfield. And we're seeing that tonight. Deal's not having a great night. They're bottling him up.
Yeah.
Logan Toms is having a great night. That night against Plymouth, they bottled up Logan Toms. They couldn't stop Deal as Hawkinsmith's going to get 5 yards, 7 yards on a carry.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the game too. Like, you can stop maybe one guy. You're lucky to stop 2, but there's no way you're going to stop all 3 of these guys in the backfield. And it's usually Logan Toms, but if he's not able to get it going, they've got other guys back there that step in and fill the void.
Well, and the biggest thing is not only do you have Hawkinsmith, you've got Deal, you've got Toms, but you've got Grayson Jackson who can throw the ball. Grayson Jackson who has the legs to get the ball on the outside edge and get 10, 15 yards on a carry if he needs to. They are a 4-headed monster in the backfield. You can't plan for 4 guys defensively.
And Jackson wisely was looking at that play clock, letting it run down.
It looks like Toms is going to have another Cubs first down on another gain of about 5. They're approaching 20 first downs on the night because of the methodical drives that they have.
Yeah, and I mean, this one started at their own 1, and they've already taken 2 minutes off the clock. Like, Arlington might not get the football back.
And if you're Coach
Turnover.
If you're Coach Spittler, that's exactly what you want to happen.
Right. And if they do get it back, it might be in a situation where the clock won't be stopping either, because Lucas might take this thing all the way down the field. As this one is out across the 40, Zach Deal, another Cubs first down.
And he's going to get another 14 yards on that carry as he's starting to have a night. And they went to that counter they like to run, only they did it the opposite way. Tom's is having the big night. Send him in motion, give him the toss, bring Deal across the front side of the formation, hand it back inside, and let him get 10, 15 yards on a carry. They want to get that defense flowing to one side and pull the ball back the other way when they do that little counter play. And normally, Coach Spittler calls it at the right time, and it works.
7:40 to go here. Cubs putting this one basically out of reach. Logan Toms falling on top of a defender to get another yard or 2 out of it. He's close to the 50.
He's going to get 6 on that carry.
Mason Cavaney on the stop for the Red Devils.
I mean, and looking at the numbers I have for Toms here so far tonight, he's close to averaging 6 yards a carry.
I would also be curious to go back and look, but
Down,
how many
4 for the
negative
Cubs.
plays does Lucas have tonight? Because they have just dominated this thing up front.
I have them down for 1.
Yeah, it's every play seems to go for 4 yards, 5 yards at least, on average. And there they hand it off a couple times in the backfield. It's Toms. He's got enough for another Cubs first down, and he's brought down at the Arlington 45.
Another gain of 7 for Toms. And even if you know it's coming, you still can't stop it.
No, because the moment you do, that's when Deal breaks one off, or Jackson keeps it.
First down Cubs from the Arlington 45.
Or Jackson beats you with his arm.
Yeah.
Or Hawkinsmith gets it. Like every time they run counter, you hear the Arlington coach yelling out counter, and they're still getting 7, 8 yards carry on it.
They've taken 4+ minutes off the clock on a drive that started at their own 1 after the goal line stand, kept Arlington out of the end zone. There goes
Deal stays on his
Deal,
feet.
still going. He was tripped up,
Zach Deal on the carry.
He's going to get about 20.
but there you go. You were saying how he'd had a little bit of an off night, didn't have the big runs, and now he's starting to pick them up in chunks as they've really just worn out this Arlington defense. You can see some of the linemen just hands on their hips right now trying to catch their breath because they've been on the field pretty much this entire fourth quarter, and Lucas has just ran it at them.
And that's what the Lucas
relentlessly.
Cubs do. That's what this Lucas Cubs offense has built. That's what Coach Spittler has built. They want to run the football. They want to wear you out because you can't do this all night long. You can't defensively.
Toms gets it, cuts inside, still going, and brought down inside the 25.
Looks like he's going to get another 5 yards on that carry. And Deal's got 50 yards here in the second half.
Yeah,
On 5 carries.
Gain of 5 on that last play.
Lucas will snap this inside 5 minutes now.
5 minutes off the clock.
Zach Deal on the carry.
Deal gets a couple there.
It's like they're going to give you
Tonight's winning 50-50
gain of 1.
571 7544 571 7544. You pick up your $129 in winnings down near the concession stand.
Pretty good 50-50 night.
Yeah, be happy to go home with that. Did they claim a winning ticket yet?
I think they just announced it.
we've already won our lottery here. They accommodated us with some food and stuff from the concessions. Delicious. Handoff up the middle, but Hawkinsmith still going. Churns those legs down right outside the 10-yard line. How many first downs is that on this drive? 7?
At least. I've got him at 22 total for the evening.
They had 13 at the half.
So 9 in the second half?
Yeah. I think 6 or 7 of them have come on this drive alone.
Yes, they have.
So we are under 4 minutes now. Cubs in complete control of this one. Hawkinsmith again with it.
Deal.
As Deal. Fooled me on that one. Yeah, Zach Deal was in on the carry.
He's going to get 2. As somebody went airborne on that play. I don't know who it was, but somebody did a somersault. We're going to be inside of 3 minutes when they snap this football. I don't expect the Arlington Red Devils to get the ball back unless the Cubs score a touchdown. As they're going to jump. We're going to have another encroachment. Are they going to call a false start?
Oh, this one actually did go against the Cubs, but that's the play. That's the exact play that Arlington has jumped on.
As you still hear the Arlington fans over there giving the Lucas Cubs the beep.
You got to respect the hustle, or the commitment to the bid. They're down big. This game hasn't gone their way, but
they haven't stopped.
They will celebrate the 5-yard penalty.
Yes, they will. Jackson's going to roll out.
Throws it, and pass is complete.
Caught.
Deal on the catch.
They're going to get the penalty yards back. Looks like that's what they're going to get back is the penalty yards.
I will also say, too, we've done our fair share of Lucas home games. That Arlington crowd is the loudest road crowd that has been here.
Absolutely.
You can hear them. I don't know if it's just because everyone's a little more quiet because they're cold tonight, but, man, they're making some noise over there.
Well, and it's one of the better traveled crowds that we've seen so far this year, too, I think.
Yeah. 3rd and 7 from the 9. They can still pick up a first down as we are under 2 minutes. A drive that started with 10.5 on the clock. Ball was fumbled on the exchange. Arlington thinks they've got it.
We'll see.
Fumble on the play.
Looks like the Cubs are going to come up with it.
It is a Lucas ball, but it is now 4th down. And
we're going to be inside a minute.
One of the fastest moving quarters. There's been no stop. It's almost been like a running clock because they just haven't had any stops. It's been other than to set the chains.
Yeah, we're going to be inside of a minute when they snap this ball. You and I talked about it when this drive started. The goal for the Cubs was not even necessarily to score a touchdown here, but not let Arlington get the football back. And they have done that successfully. They have ran 10 minutes off of a 4th quarter clock to preserve, after a goal line stand, to be the first team to shut out the Arlington Red Devils this year.
I mean, just what a vintage Cubs drive to cap off your season on senior night.
Special thank you goes out to
and I'll tell you right now, if you're any team in this region that's going to have to play these Lucas Cubs,
no thanks.
You're going to look back at this film from tonight. You're going to see how they have absolutely dominated this Arlington team at the line of scrimmage, something no other team this year has been able to do. And it's a frightening thought because, like we've talked about, they have a 4-headed monster in the backfield. You've got to prep for a 4-headed monster in the backfield and a defense that's about as stout as you can get when it comes to being able to stop somebody.
And for the tremendous support they provide to our students. Get involved in seeing the booster out officers.
Arlington won this meeting last year, and now they will anxiously await and see where they fall into the playoff picture after this one, because there's a chance they might fall outside of the top 16.
Well, I think the worry would be if you're Arlington is, I think if you're in a close game tonight, you have a better shot of keeping those points that you had. I think the 24-0 is going to hurt them. Even though it's a loss to the Cubs, it's going to hurt them more than it helps them. Jackson's going to keep it. He's going to look to get the first down.
Hurdles
He might even get in the end zone.
Outside,
Grayson Jackson's going to walk into the end zone. Grayson Jackson from 8 yards. So how about all the points on the board tonight put up by the Lucas Cubs or put up by seniors? With Aiden Calder the field goal, Logan Toms with 2 rushing touchdowns, and now Grayson Jackson with an 8-yard touchdown of his own. His second of the night, actually.
And we do have a running clock. But they're telling Aiden here to take his time.
I mean, yeah, you kick this with 2 seconds left on the play clock. There's going to be like 12 seconds left on the game clock.
The Lucas Cubs, this team playing its best football going into the postseason. Just not the team you want to run into.
As the Cubs aren't even going to kick it. They're going to go out of this game 30-0. Clock's going to run out, and that's going to be ball game. Not even going to take the extra point. Running clock. Don't even worry about kicking it. 30-0. Your Cubs win. We'll be back for post-game stats and our MVP interview after this quick break.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Time now for our TMS Plus Digital Marketing post-game show for you. As the rain has started to fall again, it was a wet night. It poured right before kickoff, and then throughout most of the first half, we saw some rain. Didn't seem to bother Lucas, though, as they got a 30-0 win tonight and just a dominating effort.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to pull up stats here and look at these. 330 yards on the ground for the Lucas Cubs. Statistically, it was a very close first half. Lucas had 157 yards. Arlington had 102. Arlington gained 57 yards in the second half of football. And that's all a testament to this defense and Coach Spittler going into the locker room and saying, guys, we gave up 100 yards. That's too much. This is how we're going to fix it. This is how we're going to prevent that from happening. And that's something I think that anybody that knows Lucas Cub football or has been around Lucas Cub football has come to know.
We've talked about it. This is not a team you want to run into in the playoffs. I think the Cubs are playing their best football at the right time of the year. And they're in a division and in a region where they can definitely make a run here in this thing. And did we get a final from the...
We do not have a final yet.
Danville East Knox game? It was 6-6
I want to say we are
quarter.
overtime.
You thought we had some rain. Oh my gosh, the field in Danville it's a mud bowl over there tonight.
We pulled up the live stream and you couldn't tell which jersey was which. They were both brown. They weren't white and purple, they were brown.
So we'll see who these teams now have in the playoffs. Arlington potentially might miss out on the playoffs, but it's still up for grabs. We'll see where they fall into the picture. But Lucas potentially now has a chance to host 2 games, depending on where they end up in the seeding situation. But the Cubs are in for sure. Arlington will have to wait it out and see where they go. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, everyone. Joshua Banks, Jeremy Peoples, I'm Andy Jardy. 30-0, the Cubs get the win. Stick around later tonight. We'll be on the Pigskin Show for you. I'll have highlights of this one and some thoughts about the Cubs and their path forward in the postseason. But until then, have a good one, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.